Let's learn a shtickle Toldos Shimshon on Perekei Avos, Perekei Mishnah Yud Aleph. Reb Chanina ben Doisa Omer, Reb Chanina ben Doisa says, Kol sheyiras chetoi kodemes lechochmosoi. Anyone that is yiras shamayim, his fear of Avera, is before his chochmah, is more important than his learning, than his Torah, then chochmosoi miskayemes, then his Torah will have a kiyum, it'll last, his Torah will stay by him. V'chol shechochmosoi kodemes liyiras chetoi. However, if his Torah is more important, it comes first, before his yiras shamayim, before his fear of Avera, that means his learning is more important to him than his fear of doing Avera, then ein chochmosim miskayemes, then his Torah won't last. And the Mefarshim ask, if the Reish of the Mishnah says, Kol sheyiras chetoi kodemes lechochmosah, that if his yiras shamayim is before his chochmah, is more important than his chochmah, then his Torah lasts. So the seif of the Mishnah, the next part of the Mishnah, should just say the opposite. That kol she'ein yiras chetoi kodemes lechochmosah, ein chochmosah miskayemes. If his yiras shamayim is not more important than his Torah won't last. Why does the Mishnah say in the Sefer, in the second part of the Mishnah says, if his Chachma is kodemes to his Yira, if his learning is more important than his Yira Shemayim, then his Torah won't last. Why didn't the Mishnah just say simply that Kol Sheyiras Chetoi, if his Yira Shemayim is first, then his Chachma lasts, and if his Yira Shemayim is not first, then his Chachma won't last. So the Toldos Shimshon explains this Mishnah based on Halacha in Shulchan Aruch, Even Ha'ezer's Siman Lamed Ches. The halacha is, if someone is Mekadesh Isha, and he makes a condition and he says, I'm being Mekadesh you, Al Manas, on condition that I'll show you 100 zuz that I have. I'll show you that I have $100. His halacha is, it's not a good kedushin until he shows her that he has the $100. Now there's a machlokes. Does he have to show that he has it right away? While he's being mekadesher, he has to show her that he has the $100. Or he could take it out later, or he could even work for the money and come up with the money later and show her that he has $100, and it's a good kedushin. So it's a machlokes. Some poskim say that he has to have it right there on the spot. If he's mekadesher al manas, that he has $100, he'll show her $100, then he has to take the $100 out of his pocket at that moment and show her that he has it, and then it's a kedushin. If he shows it later, or if he only made the money later, it's not a good kedushin. Some hold that even if he comes up with the money later, it's also a good kedushin. And the poskim say, even those shittas that say that if you come up with the money later, it's also a good kedushin, but you have up until 12 months to come up with the $100, and then it'll be a good kedushin. Because if you're going to say that forever, whenever he comes up with the $100, it's a good kedushin, so then she's stuck. He was mekadesher al manas, that he'll show her that he has $100, and he'll keep on saying, yeah, I'm coming up with the money, I'm coming up with the money. Therefore, even the shittas that say that it's a good kedushin as long as you come up with the money even afterwards, but you have up until 12 months. So says the Toldos Shimshon, we know that we are married to the Torah. Klal Yisrael is married to the Torah. Beirastich li la'olam. The connection between us and the Torah is the same connection as a marriage. It's a kedushin. Now, how are we mekadesh the Torah? How do we get married to the Torah? By learning the Torah. When we learn the Torah is how we become mekudesh to the Torah. The Torah becomes mekudeshes to us. Now, the Torah wants us to show her that we have the $100. What's this $100? Yiras Shamayim. The Torah is only masking to be married to us if we're going to show her that we have Yiras Shamayim. Just like the case in Shulchan Aruch, that he said, you're married to me and I'll show you that I have $100 on condition that I show you that I have $100. Same thing, the Torah is masking to be married to us on condition that we show the Torah that we have Yireh Shamayim, we have that $100, Yireh Shamayim. Now, the Mishnah says it like this. Anyone who has the Yireh Shamayim right away before he starts learning, that everybody held that was a good kedushin. If you're going to show the Isha that you have the $100 right away, of course it's a good kedushin. That everybody agrees that's the best. If while the kedushin you could show her that you have the $100, that's a kedushin. So mi sheyiras chetoy kedemes lechachmosa means he has the Yireh Shamayim even before he starts learning. Then of course chachmosa miskayemes, it's a good kedushin. The Torah will stay married to you because you have the $100, you have the Yireh Shamayim. But let's say you don't have the Yireh Shamayim yet. At the time of the kedushin, when you started learning, you didn't have yet the Yireh Shamayim. But as you're learning, you're acquiring the Yireh Shamayim. That's what happens when someone learns Torah. He gets Yireh Shamayim. So over here we get to a machloikis of the poskim, just like in the case in Shulchan Aruch. When you said Al Manas, that I'll show you that I have $100, and he comes up with $100 later, not right away. So it was a machloikis in the poskim if that's a good kedushin. So here too, if when he started learning, he didn't have yet the Yireh Shamayim, but he got the Yireh Shamayim later, so that's already a machlokes. Our Mishnah wanted to avoid this machlokes. Therefore, the Mishnah couldn't say in the Sefer that if you don't have Yireh Shamayim when ein Yireh Shamayim kedemes lechachmosa, if you don't have the Yireh Shamayim when you started out learning, ein chachmosa miskayemes, because that's not true. L'kuli alma, it's a machlokes about that. The Mishnah didn't want to get involved in this machlokes, that if the Yireh Shamayim came later, is that a good kedushin or not? And therefore, the Mishnah didn't want to say the lashon v'chol she'ein yiras chetoy kedemes lechachmosa. If your Yireh Shamayim is not there before the chachma, because that's already machlokes if the Torah will stay married to you or not. So the Mishnah avoided that. But the Mishnah did say is a halacha that everybody agrees to. That kol shechachmose kedemes liras chetoy means that when you sat and learned, you became a Talmud Chacham, and your Chachma, you became an accomplished Talmud Chacham, and you did not get yet your Yireh Shamayim until afterwards, you'll never be married to the Torah. Because in order to become a Talmud Chacham, it takes a long time to sit and learn. And throughout that time, you still didn't come up with the $100. That's like the poskim say that past 12 months is too late to come up with the $100. So kol shechachmosai, if your chachma is there but your Yireh Shamayim is not there yet, it's kedemes liras chetoy, ein chachmosai miskayemes. Then everybody agrees that the Torah doesn't want to be married to you. You didn't come up with the Yireh Shamayim right away. You didn't come up with the $100 right away, and for the next 12 months you didn't come up with the Yireh Shamayim. You didn't come up with the money for 12 months because you're already Talmud Chacham, and that came before your Yireh Shamayim. That means that it took you a long time to get the Yireh Shamayim. Then at Kuli Alma, it's not a good kedushin, and that's ein chachmosa miskayemes. The Torah won't stay married to you. In the schus of the Zera Shimshon, may we have brocha and atzlocha b'chol onyon.